Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our group presentation. We are from the 6th group. There are Raficha, Dyah, Ayuningtyas with student number A1B2191006, Pedro, Ignasius with student number A1B2191007, Shakilla, Pebriansyah, Putri with student number A1B2191008, and Meisya, Syadrina, Putri with student number A1B2191009, and the last one is Erlis, Setiawati with student number A1B2191010. So our topic of presentation is adapting and adopting an existing course book. Well, with the first material will be explained by Erlis, Setiawati. To Erlis, time is yours.
The course book, the learners, and the teacher. Curriculum design is concerned with the creation of language courses and course material, but it is also concerned with the selection of text and other materials for courses, and with adapting and adding to existing courses. In this course, we will look to the relationship between the teacher and existing course book. And according to Prabhu, 1989 suggests that because teaching must be matched to the learner current knowledge, course book will not be effective because they are not in touch with the states of this knowledge. All right, 1981 see textbooks as removing learners from negotiating the curriculum design process. This point underlines the importance of having a flexible approach to the use of course book and of choosing a course book which allows for flexibility. Next slide, please. Dividing the parts of the process. In order to take a systematic approach to looking at the possible roles of the course book, teacher and learners in the curriculum design, it's necessary to look at each part of the curriculum design process. As you can see in the screen, there is a table list of areas to consider when deciding where the course book, learner, and teacher will contribute to curriculum design. Each of these areas needs to be informed of consideration of environment, needs, and principle. And column number 3, which is responsibility, course book, teacher, and learners, uh, need to be filled according to who is given responsibility. There is area of design, which is content and sequencing, and the question will arise is what language content, what ideas content, how much cover, and how often cover. And the next area of design is format and presentation, and the question is how present, what format for the listen, who present. And the last area of design is monitoring and assessing. And the question is what assess, when assess, how assess, and who assess. That's all from me, and the next material will be explained with my friends. Thank you.
Okay. The teachers and the course material. In this session, we will look at the range of relationship between the teachers and the course material, ranging from the strong reliance on a courses book to the use of courses book and the internet. First is strong reliance on the courses book with minimal adapting. Once a courses book has been chosen, teachers may follow the courses book very closely, making only small essential change and adaptation. There are several reasons why teachers might follow the courses book. First is their School of Ministry of Education requires them to follow it closely. It usually because of a wish to standards and quality and quantity of the education that a learners get, sometimes because of the lack of trust in the skills of the teachers. The teachers might be inexperienced or largely untrained, and there is security in following the courses book closely. The teachers may also have no idea about how to adapt a course's book. The third one is the teacher is convinced of the high quality of the course's book. The fourth, the learners wish to cover every part of the course's book. The greatest area of flexibility for a teacher when following a course's book closely are in how the material presented, formal or just as presentations, and monitoring assessment, the techniques that are used to present the material can be varied to suit the interest and proficiency of the learners. This, and the second one is adapting a course book. That the book has been chosen, teachers may wish to make substantial change to the. There are several reasons for doing this. These could be classified as responding to the environment and taking account of needs or putting principle into practice. Here are some of them. First, the course's book does not include all the activities. The course's material doesn't fit comfortably into the time available of the course. The course's book contains content that is unsuitable for the learner's level of proficiency or age. The learner's knowledge and skill do not match and that involved in the course's book. The course's book doesn't include language items, skill, ideal course, or strategy. The course's book doesn't apply principle that the teachers feel should be applied. The course's book doesn't have involved the learners in the curriculum design process. And the third one is using course's book instead of course's book. The proper role of the course's book in course is a matter of debate. Suggest the learners would be better served if teachers don't use courses book but assemble their courses by drawing a variety of searches book, such of conversation book, time reading books, intensive reading books, listen text, as well the teachers met the material. There are several reasons why this happening. First, a single course book doesn't meet the diverse needs of the learners in the class. Drawing material from variety of sources allow the teachers to keep each lesson as close as possible to what the learner needs. The learners can have a strong say in what kind of topic material they work, and this allows teachers and learners to negotiate the syllabus during the courses. The teachers have to change to make a greater use of their professional skills such as material preparation, courses planning and adapting of activities and multi-level teaching in one class. The zero methods under which the course is taught make it difficult to find an appropriate textbook. For example, the teaching has been divided up, so the teachers deals with the reading, other with deals with writing, so on and so on. Or the class number are small so that learners will widely varying levels of proficiency have to be in the same class. And the last one is using computers and the internet. The technology invitation have always had an impact on teaching, not less because the learners expect to use the new technology in the classroom. The event of the computer age has been accepted and has made impact. First, the use of computer and computer software in a self-assessed centers. They use computer mediated activities in the classroom, most obviously in the teaching writing. The last one is the use of the internet as searching of information. The extent to which teacher use a computer that internet is however is going to be determined by the outer circles of the curriculum design diagram. Obviously, the environmental constant include of lack of money to purchase equipment. School without electricity and teachers unfamiliarity with the technology when environment analysis and need analysis favor the use of technology. It's most important that teachers consider how to use the technology fits with the course's principle. With the consider is whether the new technology will contribute to the course's goals more effectively than before. The next material will be presented by my friends.
Okay, for the next material will be explained by me. That is evaluating a course book. So there are 2 points in this material. The first one is essential features, that is reducing the list of possible books. So any course book without these essential features would not be worth considering further. Here are some possible essential features. The first one is the book should be at the right vocabulary and grammar level for the learners. Uh, the book should focus on the language and skills that are the goal of the course. The book should be below a certain price. The book should be readily available. The size and number of lessons in the book suit the length of the course. The book should not include behavior and topics that would offend the religious or cultural sensitivities of the learners and their parents. And the second point is choosing and weighting the features. So there are 3 things need to be done to this list. The first one is add features that you consider important but which are not on the list. Try to do this systematically by considering the various parts of the curriculum design process. The second one is take away features from the list so that it contains a manageable list of features, leaving preferably no more than 10 or 12. Because it is not possible to include all the principles of teaching and learning on this list, it will be necessary to decide which of those principles are really important enough to include. This will probably mean choosing no more than 2 or 3 from the list of 20. The third one is divide the features in the list into 2 or 3 groups in order to decide which features are very important, which are important and which are desirable but not so important. This list of features does not include the absolutely essential features, which should be listed separately. There are several reasons for dividing the features into groups. Firstly, it helps to clarify priorities. Secondly, it provides some indication of how much time should be spent on examining a particular feature in the course book. Thirdly, the grouping can act as the basis for giving numerical points for each feature so that a score or total number of points can be given to a course book and thus make comparison of course book. The design of any evaluation form will be determined by the focus of the evaluation. For example, Nita and Gardner from 2005 developed a framework for evaluating grammar tasks, and Reinders and Lewis from 2006 proposed a checklist for evaluating self-assessed materials. So occasionally, an evaluation may be concerned with wider social concerns in addition to language learning features. There may, for example, be a desire to avoid a sexist or racist depiction of the world through the coursebook. And the next material will be explained by my friend.
Okay, the next material will be presented by myself. The title is Evaluating the Evaluation Forms. A comparison of the evaluation forms designed by Tucker, Sheldon, and shows us how current theories of second language learning influence coursebook evaluation. Evaluation form is a document to measure students' performance. Actually, evaluation form is not only used by teacher. For example, in the world of work, HR or human resource use this to evaluate the employees. of the company. An, an evaluation form that seemed adequate 20 or 40 years ago now seems inappropriate. When examining the adequacy of an evaluation form, we can use this criteria as we use for evaluating a test. First one is the form reliable? Would different people using the same form on the same course book to reach similar conclusions? And the next one is the form valid? Does the form cover the important feature of a course book? Is the choice of futures to examine in agreement with our current knowledge of curriculum design and second language learning? And the last, is the form practical? Is it easy to understand? Is it easy to use? Can it be used to evaluate a course book in a reasonably short time? Are the results of the evaluation understandable and usable? I think that's all from me. The next material will be presented by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, the next material is presenting the results. The course book evaluation form is a tool. A completed form is not always the best way of presenting the results of an evaluation if others are to use the results or be convinced by the results. For many teachers, the evaluation of course is more important than designing courses because their teaching situation determines that they should work from a course book. It should be clear from this chapter that evaluating and adapting a course book draw on the same knowledge and procedures that are used when designing a course. Evaluating a course book is a small but important exercise in curriculum design. Summary of this step: the first, evaluate the course book. Second, decide how the course book will be used. And the last, adapt the course book. So the difference between adopting and adapting in the development of teaching materials is in adapting teaching materials, this can be done by selecting teaching materials that are already available in the market or bookstores and use it without making changes to the material. To adopting this teaching material, it is necessary to evaluate the material beforehand teach available. The evaluation can be carried out by considering several things such as students, objectives, content, methodology, and others contained in the teaching material or book. Teaching material selected later is the most suitable in the needs of the teaching and learning process. In the adapting of the course book, teaching materials are tailored to the needs teaching. By adapting teaching materials, we make changes in the material. This change can be in the form of modifying the content, adding or subtracting, composing written contents, omitting certain sections, modifying tasks, and develop existing tasks. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Shakilla, for your presentation. Okay, so we at the ending of the presentation, so I will read our conclusion. So, dividing the part of the process, it is necessary to look at each part of the curriculum design process in order to take a systematic approach to looking at the possible roles of the course book. Um, the teachers and learners in the curriculum design process. The relationship between the teacher and the course material is ranging from strong reliance on a course book, adapting a course book using source books instead of course book, and using computers and the internet. And evaluating a course book, there is to evaluate a course book, we have to choose essential features or reducing the list of possible books, and also choosing and weighting the features. And then evaluating the evaluation forms. So when examining the adequacy of an evaluation form, we can use the same criteria as we use for evaluating a test. Presenting the result, evaluating a course book is more important than designing courses because teaching situation determines that they should work from a course book. So I think that's all from our group presentation. I will end it here. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you.